What's up, guys? Back again with another video. This time it's the Razer Kishi V2. I know I've been doing a lot of these controller ones, but I'm still just kind of seeing what's out there and seeing which ones I like, because I want to do like a comparison, just kind of put them all up against each other and kind of rank them. But until then, I need to get some of these and see how I like them. I love the packaging for Razer. I own the first Kishi, this guy, and it's not that it's a bad controller. It's just that it's a little limited because if the phone doesn't fit in these slots, then you can't use it. So it's not very universal. It's not very good at playing different form factors across the board unless they're all candy bar style. So that's kind of a bummer. Whereas this one is universal. You're able to play using different phone types according to the packaging. I don't know if you can do the folding phone, but we'll certainly see. It looks like you should be able to, but I don't know. The packaging itself, like I said, really cool. I love the green, love the black. I think out of all the packaging that I've seen so far from these, this, in my opinion, is kind of boring. This, in my opinion, is a little boring as well, but it is better than the GameSir, but this, I think, takes the cake. I think you can definitely tell that they care about their packaging at Razer. So let's just take a quick look around the box. It says Universal Fit, Extendable Bridge, Stream PC Console Gaming, console quality mobile gaming. And on the back, you have more of an idea of kind of what to expect. Universal Fit Extender. Yeah, I mean, basically the same thing in the front and the back, except with some other stuff, ergonomic. Next gen Nexus app, optimized for maximum performance. I don't think any of that really matters, to be honest. I don't think any of these are going to be so much different than the GameSir or something that I'm going to be completely blown away, but it is all marketing. So let's go ahead and take a look on the inside and see what's there, because that is the only thing I really care about here. All right. So it is definitely a lot more in line with the backbone when it comes to design. I mean, these two side by side are almost indistinguishable. So that's definitely something that is different than the original one, which kind of folded in on itself, made it a little bit more portable. But once you unfold it, it did have some limitations. Whereas this is definitely a straight up I don't want to say copy because I don't know which one came first, but it's definitely very reminiscent of the competitors out there. So this one, it does have the same opening closing mechanism, so that's nice. It does have this little lip though. I don't know if you can kind of see it from the side, but this little lip that kind of protrudes over the USB-C, I think is going to be limiting for certain phones. So I think that's kind of a bummer, but I think once you have the phone inserted, it should work fine. And it does feel good overall. I don't know what these little buttons are for. There's little M1, M2 buttons. I don't really know what they're used for up top. That's interesting. But it does have the triggers, which are really small because of the placement of that M button, which is really weird, like I said. So I'm not too sure if I like the button layout on this yet. The R1 and R2 seem small on here. Plenty clicky, but kind of cheap sounding. Anyway, the buttons are nice and far away from the joystick, which is nice. Sometimes, with the GameSir X2S, I had to kind of lean over the thumbstick to actually push the button, which is a little annoying. Whereas this, it definitely is separate in a nice way. But it does, yeah, I mean, it's a plastic, so, I mean, you're not going to get the highest quality here. I'd say it's probably a little, less of a nice feeling than the backbone, but probably in line a little bit more with the GameSir. But yeah, I'll have to definitely test it out and check it out. You do have a USB-C at the bottom, so you can charge while you're playing, but that is it as far as ports go. So there's no headphone port on this, which is kind of a bummer. The only one that I've seen so far that has that is the backbone, which does have a headphone jack if you're someone who wants to also listen to sound without using Bluetooth. So that is kind of a bummer, but it is kind of in line with like the GameSir X2S. But let's just check it out and see how it works, because how it feels, it feels fine, I guess. I think I don't really like this feeling as much as the Backbone. I think the Backbone still feels way better. But, it's probably in line with, the X2S here. But this one actually might feel a little bit better, weirdly. But, I don't know. Let's test it out. Let's check out some games. Alright, so I tested a few games on here. And I'm just a little confused about the price to value ratio on this one product, because compared to some of the other ones that I've played with, including the GameSir products, this feels weirdly cheaper to me than those, which are actually cheaper. I mean, I get it's Razer. I get that they have a bit of marketing behind them, unlike the GameSirs, which I didn't really hear about until I saw some people talk about it on YouTube. But this thing, the buttons, they sound really, really cheap, and they feel cheap. And that's kind of the weird thing with this, considering the GameSir X2S has better buttons than when you push them. Except for, the triggers, I think, don't sound that great on the other one. But on this one, it doesn't sound good either. So I don't know why they're charging upward of $100 for something that feels like it was built and has, the materials of about $12 in here. The joysticks are fine. They're a little small. They don't really have any grips that come with it. So you are kind of just using whatever they provide. And the D-pad feels fine. It does feel cheap as well, but it does work. And everything here actually does work really well. When I was playing Fall Guys, I didn't have any issue moving around, jumping. So it's not as if it's a bad product in the sense that it doesn't work. And out of all the ones that I've tried, this one actually didn't have any issue when I was doing pressing the trigger playing Fortnite, which I think is a big win compared to the others that I've definitely had some issues with that I've documented in those videos. Feel free to go watch them. But this one did not seem to have that issue. I was able to push the trigger rapidly, and every single time I got a response from this. And that is really, really reassuring compared to some of the others. But other than that one fact, this is not a great feeling controller. And if you have a foldable phone, it's just like the Backbone. It's going to have to fold downward because that's just how they put the USB-C on this. And honestly, I think it looks goofy. I'm not a fan of that. I really wish that they would put it on the other side like they did with the GameSir X2S, which I think if you're going to have a USB for foldables, that is definitely going to be the option I recommend to you. This one, not so much, unless you're okay with having the screen folding downward. But I mean, if you try to play it folded, it has like this little lip that blocks it from being able to do so. So, I mean, this thing is a little limited on that. But I mean, if you were to play with a candy bar style phone, it's really not an issue at all. It fits in there pretty universally because it does have some pretty wide slots to fit the phone. And it does work with the USB-C at the bottom, so if you are wanting to do charging while playing, that is an option. It does have these M buttons, and I'm still not sure what the heck they do, because there's not a single game that I can think of that I needed to use them, but they are here if you do want to use them. I assume it's kind of like those triggers on the back of like the GameSir, where they have the triggers on the back of the controller, but the problem is that they kind of take up some of the space, so now your triggering feels, more cramped than you otherwise would get. I mean, even the older Kishi, this one feels surprisingly better overall than this V2. I think that this one, outside of the fact that it does have more limitations with the phones that it can hold, the buttons feel and sound more premium. The buttons on the top still sound better and feel better. The D-pad feels better. And weirdly, for this being a second generation product, I honestly like the Generation 1 better when it comes to just straight up usability. The way that the analog controls feel, the way that the buttons sound, everything here feels and sounds better than on this one, which is just really weird considering the price that they're charging. But that is just my 2 cents on it, guys. I don't know. I have just no reason to recommend this one over the others that I can think of off the top of my head, unless you're a Razer fan, or if you do have, you play Fortnite on your phone. I think that the trigger response on this controller is better, but literally anything other than that trigger response, I cannot think of a single reason to choose this one over the others. And that is a bit of a bummer, but at the same time, I hope that this saves you a little bit of time when you are making these kind of decisions, because even though I really wouldn't recommend the V1 unless you have candy style phones for the rest of your life, because this will never hold something like a foldable because of the way that it's designed, I would recommend this one if you want to get this style of controller. I think the Backbone is a better product. I think that it is a better sounding controller, a better feeling controller overall than this one. But if you are willing to step up a little more, maybe the GameSir G8 would be a good choice for you, because it is Bluetooth if you're into that. But if you want the USB-C in this distinct style, Backbone is the way to go. They do cost about the same. You can find them on sale usually. So if you can, definitely get the one on sale. If you are willing to go down a little bit more, the GameSir does have the USB-C on the correct side for foldables. All other phones will fit just as well, but you can also play foldables closed in this one, whereas with these you can't, because once again, these lips that are securing your phone are also kind of hindering you from being able to do that, whereas this one gives you a little bit more of that. But I want to do a ranking video on some of these and see kind of where they stand. But I'll say for this one, the Razer Kishi version 2, I would not say this is my favorite one. I think it's fine, it'll work, but I do think for the money, this is a better buy. I think the Backbone did a better job overall with basically the construction and everything. I actually just used this recently on a flight, and pulling it in and out of a bag is just so nice. This one I'm sure would be just as nice, but it just feels so much cheaper than this one. So I don't know. But you guys know what you think in the comments below. If you owned one of these, do you guys like it? Am I kind of misreading all of this? I don't personally think I am. I think for $100, this is not the best investment you can make. But I don't know. You guys tell me. Anyway, that's my video. Thank you guys for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Sub if you want to see more of it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.